Hey, hello, everyone. This session will be an information and training session for EdAssist. I will let the Bright Horizons team introduce themselves and help you understand a little bit better how Bright Horizons and EdAssist work together. Please keep this recording so that you can refer to it every semester as you are entering your classes, creating applications in EdAssist. Questions will come up, but we think with the step-by-step tutorial that I have sent you and this recording, you should have all of your questions answered. So I will let Bright Horizons introduce themselves and again explain the connection between EdAssist and Bright Horizons.
I'll go ahead. Hello, my name is Kayla Johnston. I am with EdAssist by Bright Horizons. We are here managing the program. We're kind of your middleman between the program itself and the completion. So we're here to support you in whatever way you need, and we're always here with questions. This is our team, Jenny and Amy. If you need any support from us, we're your go-to people.
Thank you, Kayla. This is Amy Reinagle. I am the manager of the Employee Services Support Team that handles all of the, as Kayla had mentioned, the middle transactions in regards to getting your school paid and setting you up for educational success in this journey. I'm so excited to see all the new folks that are utilizing this program, and I wish you all much success. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out via the live chat function on the EdAssist site. And you can also open up a support ticket on the EdAssist site, as well as we do have phone support that is available for you.
Good morning, Rise to Success participants. This is Jenny, and I work with Amy as well in Employee Services, and we are here to help you every step of the way. As Amy said, please submit a support ticket if you need any help. Use the live chat function, or once your application is approved, you can add a comment within your application as well. Congratulations.
Hey, Laura, you're on mute.
Thank you. Kayla, did you want to share your screen, or how would you like me to work? How would you like to work that?
If you can share your screen, that would be great.
Sure.
I don't have anything pulled up.
Hey guys. Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. My name's Stacia Stitzel. I'm one of the educators at Cleveland. I don't know that any of our Rise to Success students have been able to join. I have Abby on now, but I just sent her the link. I don't know if the others received the link to join.
Okay, let me send that right now because that might be our problem. 1 second, everyone. Okay, that just went out. Thank you, Stacia. I appreciate that. I'm going to pull up EdAssist, and then I'll share my screen. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now, and this will show you what the EdAssist portal looks like. Okay, can you see that, Kayla?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And if you just want to tell me what you'd like me to do, I can control it.
Sure. Thank you for that. So this is your EdAssist portal. This is what it looks like when you log in. This is your home screen. So you can see the Atrium Health logo in the corner there. And we'll start by looking at the Benefits and Support tab, if you don't mind clicking there. The Benefits and Support tab will show you your policy, FAQs, really important information that's good to reference and come back to time to make sure that you're on track, or again, any questions that you may have might be answered there. If you do need further assistance and can't exactly find what you're looking for in the policy or the FAQs, you can start a live chat here, or you can create a support ticket. So definitely great ways to get in contact with us. That will connect you to a member of the EdAssist team, and you can go from there. You can create a support ticket 24/7. The live chat feature is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And is
All
there a
right.
preferred way, Kayla? Like, is there, I guess if students want a faster response, or should they do the live chat or the support ticket? Is one better than the other?
One's not necessarily better than the other. The live chat will get you an answer right away, whereas with the support ticket, it kind of goes into a queue, and say you entered it in at 11 p.m. at night, you might not get answered until the following day. So if you're looking for that immediate support, a live chat is a great way to go.
Thank you. And you guys can see right here the live chat over on the right-hand side, or the support ticket. So 9 to 4 are the hours for the live chat. Okay.
Awesome. Yep. And you can scroll down and see all the different resources we have available. There's even some tutorials, some little videos that you can watch. Really great stuff. So always start there. And like I said, if you can't exactly find what you're looking for, then you'll want to go for some more support. If we scroll back up, we can go to our next tab. And that is coaching and resources. So our coaching and resources tab is where you can schedule an advising appointment to meet with one of our education coaches. This is where you can talk a little bit more about your path and your program, and learn about the school that you may be going to. Just a great way to get more support towards your program, and meet with an expert. It's completely free. And you schedule it on your time. If you scroll down a little bit, you should see that option. Right there, schedule a coaching appointment. Yep.
Okay.
So definitely feel free to take advantage of that. In this case, we have waived the mandatory coaching for this session, which is totally fine. And you can always come back and take care of that if you'd like.
So for the coaching, will that be required at some point, or like before they create their application for spring semester, will they need to schedule a coaching appointment before then?
No, we have waived mandatory coaching for all future participants. So you don't have to do this. It's a great tool and a great resource that, again, is free to you. So I would recommend it if you have the time and can find something that works within your schedule. It really is a nice place to just get more support and talk about your program.
So RISE participants, we've already talked to you about the sort of one-on-one coaching. That's completely different from the education coaching. So the one-on-one coach that you will be assigned through the company Engage to Uplift, that's more to discuss, again, you can go as personal as you like. You can talk to them about, if you're having trouble deciding exactly what you want to do in terms of a career, that's one coaching that is offered. Of course, you'll have your academic advisor at college, and then education coaching through Bright Horizons is yet another way, or another tool that we offer you. We really want to make sure you have all the resources available to you to help you be successful. So this is not required, but highly recommended. And it's as easy as going to the tab, Coaching and Resources, scrolling down, and schedule a coaching appointment. Thanks, Kayla. Okay.
Thank you, Lori. Our next tab is our History tab. This is a great way to look back on your applications. We'll let it load there for a second. You can see what maybe you've submitted in the past, and the status. And yep, here you can see there's some canceled status applications, just I'm sure from testing. But here you would see things like approved or denied, and comments maybe that were made on the application. It's a really great resource if you're ever curious just to look back on your progress and see, again, those previous applications. All right, and then let's go back to the home page. If you click on the home, yep, thank you. So just a little bit more about the homepage. I know we skipped over this in the beginning. You can see there's announcements. So if there's important things to know, or maybe upcoming deadlines, things like that. Here we have an announcement about a new prepaid program. This is where you would look for those, and you can X out of those as soon as you've read them. It's just a nice little tool to keep you aware of what might be going on. Here you'll see you can start a new application. If you already had an application in progress, it would also show here. So we can see what that looks like after we walk through an application. But the carousel here kind of gives you some highlights, some news. And Lori, do you mind clicking the arrow just to show what that looks like? Yeah, just some different resources, ways to explore the network, explore benefits, all sorts of different things. And if we scroll down a little bit, you can also look at your benefit balance if that's applicable to you. As you can see here, it's zeroed out, it's just not applicable. We also have our workforce education network. So if you're curious about what our education network looks like for maybe future learning, you can check there. And finally, our career pathways is a really great tool to look into what the next steps might be towards a path that you're going down. So yeah, let's take a look at the career pathways. So here it's just more information about what we selected. So in this case, registered nurse. It gives you more information about who are registered nurses, what do they do, what does that look like in that role, and you can hit view career pathway. And it gives you this honeycomb effect to show you the steps that you may take along the way to becoming a registered nurse and beyond. There's lots of different positions to look at. Registered nurse is a very popular one, as you can imagine. So you might start out as a certified nursing assistant, move on to an LPN, and go from there, all the way up to chief learning officer. So a really great tool to look at what may be steps that you'd be interested in taking, what the salary might look like, how many years that takes. And if you click on the honeycomb itself, it should give you a little bit more information about that particular role.
Excuse me.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay.
So now I think let's go back home. That should cover all of the tabs that you'd want to look at. Definitely, I recommend going through the site, clicking on each tab, getting familiar with things, checking out your home page. It's really important just to know how the EdAssist portal works and that you feel comfortable moving within it. So would we like to go over an application? Oh, Lori, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was coughing.
Oh.
If we could go through an application, that would be great. I don't know the best way to do that, since of course I can't create a Rise to Success application.
Oh, okay. Let me see on my end really quick.
So do we need to create an application for like the fall semester? Is that something that you guys do for the first semester?
Abby, that's a great question. For fall semester, because not everyone has been hired and doesn't have access to EdAssist because they're not able to log into the Atrium network. For this fall semester only, we have let all of the colleges know that you are sponsored students, excuse me, and your tuition is taken care of so that your classes won't be dropped. You will, as soon as you're able to, you will have to create an application for fall semester. So for those of you who have access to the system, after this session, you can go in and create your application for fall semester. We'll show you during this meeting how to access your letter of credit, which is essentially the invoice that you take to the college and then they bill us. Starting spring semester, you will have to create an application to get your letter of credit. And we'll talk about the timelines, but you'll need to do that this is what we talked about in orientation. As soon as you register for spring semester classes, right away, create your application in EdAssist. You should just consider that another step of your registration process. Does that help, Abby? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, it looks like on my end that I'm not going to have the Rise to Success option either, but we could still walk through, the application itself will be the same. We can still walk through what the steps to take are and what that process looks like. Just know that when you're in the application, you'll want to select Rise to Success specifically, and that you should show eligibility for that.
Okay.
And I can point that part out.
Should I go to start a new application?
Yes, so we'll start by clicking Start a New Application or the New Application button at the top. Either one works. And it's going to ask, what type of learning is this application for? So you'll want to select, is it an associate's, a bachelor's, all the way up to certificate, all sorts of different options. In this case, we'll use associates, of course. And we'll hit Next Question. And what is the professional area of focus? You can start to type in what the area of focus is, or look through the different options that it gives you. So in this case, we can do, let's do physical therapy. Awesome.
So all of you would either be putting nursing, surgical technology, medical assisting. They will all be here in this selection box.
Yes, thank you, Lori. So here is where you would want to select Rise to Success. So you can see that in Lori's case, she's not eligible for that program. So it's not showing up for her. And it's also showing other things that she's ineligible for, eligible for, and it gives more information about each of those programs. So again, this is where you would want to select Rise to Success to make sure that you're applying under the correct program.
And you will see it down here. There's once you have access, all of you are eligible for Rise to Success. If for some reason it shows ineligible, let either me or Capri know. But at this point, there's no reason, because the required coaching session has been waived. There's no reason that you should see ineligible. I do have one question. If they have not submitted their grades from the previous semester, will it show as ineligible?
Amy or Jenny, do you know the answer to that?
Lori, you're right. If they haven't submitted their grades for the previous semester and they still have open applications and that document submission deadline has passed, they will not be able to select Rise to Success.
Okay, that's what I
So,
thought.
so as soon
And
as courses are finished and grades are issued, it's important to access the application and upload your final grades, because then we'll go in and close out that application. And then you will have access to submit a new application for that next semester.
And Kayla, are we going to talk a little bit more about that, or should I mention a few things now?
Sure. If you'd like to mention anything that's on the top of your mind right now, that'd be great.
Yeah. So again, a couple of things, just add it to your to-do list. So creating an application, you should consider another part of your course registration process. And then as soon as you get your grades, you'll need to go into EdAssist, into that history tab, and find the application that you created for fall semester. And you're going to need to enter all your grades for each of the classes. If you don't enter your grades, you won't be able to create an application for the upcoming semester, which causes all sorts of problems. So if you can't create an application, you don't submit your letter of credit, your classes will be dropped. You may remember at orientation, I reminded you that for spring semester, we will send a reminder because this is all new and fall semester is a little bit different. After spring semester, so for both of your semesters next year, no one will be reminding you to do this stuff. Capri and I won't be sending you an email. Bright Horizons doesn't send an email. Your school doesn't send an email. So you need to make sure, however you keep yourself on track, whatever tools you use, you need to make sure that you do all this stuff in a very timely manner. Create the application, as soon as you get the email saying your letter of credit is available, uploading that or downloading that and sending it to your sponsorship office or the appropriate contact at your school, and then entering your grades as soon as you get them. So all of that is very important to do on a timely basis.
Lori, may I say something, please? This is Jenny.
Yes.
Another essential thing, when you're uploading your grade document, it's important that the grade document that you're providing to us has all of the required information. Otherwise, what happens is we send back the application to you to upload a more complete document. So when you submit that document with the grades, the document has to include the school name, logo, or the URL at the top, your name, and then the term, the course, the grade that you received. So if all of that information is on there, we can just check off the document and close your application out.
Thank you. Good reminder.
Yes, great points, everybody. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions about that process or those steps to take, that's exactly what we're here for. Feel free to reach out to us again via the live chat, via telephone, or with a help desk ticket. We're always happy to walk through those processes. So for our next step, let's select the one that we are eligible for just to show what the rest of the application looks like. Again, this is where you would select Rise to Success, but we're just, for the example here, going to select this program instead. Okay, so you'll want to enter in who is your education provider. So here you'll hit search. And if you scroll down just a little bit, the search tab there, you can start searching the name of the institution.
So I'm just going to try a couple because this year we have students attending quite a few different colleges, whereas in the past it was just CPCC. I don't know if there's, do you know how they're listed?
Yes, you may have to do the full name, or at least that part of it. And if you search now, it should come up.
Another point is that when you're searching for a provider, sometimes it's best to put in just a basic word. So if you just enter in central, in this case, it came up That's great. But if the provider doesn't come up, sometimes just putting in one word will populate a bunch of providers and it will include the provider that you're looking for.
All right, so let's try Rowan for Rowan Cabarrus Community College. Well, we do Rowan Cabarrus.
I think that one's just under Cabarrus, Lori.
So there's two different, there's Cabarrus College of Health Sciences.
Oh, yes.
Let's try Cabarrus. There it is. So there's Rowan Cabarrus. There's also Cabarrus College. Does it matter which one they select if there are two? I mean, this looks like the same thing, but if there are two listings for a college, does it matter which one they select?
It shouldn't matter. No, I would probably select the one with more information included. So in that first one, you can see that there's a PO box included there. Probably safer to select that one, but shouldn't matter. No, this is more just so that we can process the school correctly. So as long as you're selecting the school that you're attending, we should be able to get the right information.
And if it does have, so there are two here for Stanley Community College, and this one has the business office. If you see, if your school has two listings and there's one that gives the business office address, always select that. So all of your schools will be in here. I'm going to say that I'm going to Stanley Community College.
Awesome. So we're good with the learning provider. So this is where you would start to enter in your courses and expenses. So here it has you start with the session start date. So we can select a date, just not today. Or today's fine, sorry. And then our end date, sorry, I meant end date, not today, but yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yep, any day that we think is a typical end date works. And then it's going to ask you the graduation question. So this is a mandatory question. So are you graduating or completing your education program with this session? You'll say yes or no. And even if you hit no, it will ask you for your expected completion date.
So we could say, if I'm going to take 2 years, I could say May 30th, 2025. Now, an estimation is fine for this, correct? Because of course it could change. But what we want them to do is to enter the date they expect to graduate, correct?
That's right. Yep. So to your best knowledge, what your expected graduation date is. And if you don't know, put out what you can best assume. You can always go back and in your next application, update that. But for this application, that works totally fine.
So you've got, again, you'll be creating this application after you register for every semester. So when you create your spring semester, it will be session start date, January 5th, session end date, May 10th. And you will not be graduating. And then you can update your expected graduation date.
So is the graduation question more of like once we get to our second year?
Well, you'll need to select, you'll need to put something in there on every application. So right now, Abby, like you are probably going to graduate in 2 years with your associate's degree. So when you create your first application, you could do something like this. Next semester, if you realize it's going to take you a semester longer, you can change that. Or if you know, you realize you're going to graduate sooner than expected, you can change it again. Remember that the RISE sponsorship covers you for up to 3 years or until you get your associate's degree. So if it takes you 3 years to get your associate's degree, you're covered for 3 years. Does that answer your question, Abby?
Yeah, so that's not more of like, do you need the class to graduate?
Correct. That's just like your expected completion date or graduation date with your associate's degree. Because this is not this section here. So Kayla, this application is for all classes for fall semester or for a semester, right?
Correct. Yep.
What if you have classes that start on different dates? Like, I have 2 classes that start today and then one that starts in September. Should all those go on one application or 2 different applications?
Jenny or Amy, do you have a recommendation for that?
Because I know that, sorry.
It's okay. The schools usually bill us for all of the courses that are taken during the term.
Okay.
So it's easiest for the teammates to just include all of their fall courses or all of their spring courses on one application.
That's what I thought. So even if your class, because I know sometimes a class may start a little bit later, even if it starts in September or October, maybe it's an accelerated course, you would still put the session start date as the semester start date, not the class start date.
The only time, Lori, that they would need to submit more than one application then, because only 5 courses maximum will fit on one application. I don't anticipate that they'll be taking more than 5 courses, but that would be the only situation where they would have to submit more than one application then.
Okay, perfect. And then, Kayla, I'm assuming then we move to adding a course?
Yes, exactly. So this is where you'll hit add a course and related expense. And this is where you'll enter in the actual course itself. So you get the pop-up window. So course name, we could do something like Health 101, English 101, anything like that.
English, let's say English literature. And you guys will have all of this information somewhere. You'll have all the information about the course name, the course number. And you'll also have your tuition for each class. So let's say $315 for this class. Sorry, Kayla, if I'm doing anything wrong, please stop me.
Not at all. You're right on track. Yep, this is exactly how you would enter that information in.
And this is where you select if you're in the class, if it's online, if it's hybrid. I'm going to say I'm in the classroom. And then what is this add an expense for used? Add an expense used for?
Add an expense is used for so related course expenses. So something like books or things that may be covered under the program itself. So you can see, here a course related fee perhaps. You might not have to use this option, the add expense option. So if you don't have other expenses to add, you can completely skip that step. But if you do, this is where you would want to select what type of expense is it and then how much it's worth.
So you guys will have lab fees with possibly biology, anatomy. So let's say instead of English Lit, this was biology. And the fee is $300. Sometimes those course related fees are really expensive. So that's where you would enter those fees. I did want to ask for books. So they, when they go to the bookstore or buy their books online, they just enter their student ID number and it's charged to their sponsorship. Do they still need to enter the book expense here?
Jenny or Amy, I'll let you guys take that one.
Yes, Lori. So if their books are going to be on their line of credit, on that invoice that we get, that's where they would enter the book expense in there.
Okay. So let's
Then-
say I'm sorry, go ahead, Amy.
It's okay. So then it'll be different though, if they, excuse me, decide that they need to go to Amazon and purchase a book and pay out of pocket that they need for their course. This is not where they would enter that book expense on though, not this part of the application, because for those situations, we want to pay the teammate back. So
Right.
that would be a different application that would come later after this course application is submitted. So the
Okay.
book expenses on this application are just the books that will be on the invoice that's sent to us.
Perfect. So guys, when you are purchasing your books, and you can all do that now if you haven't already. Now some schools are a little bit different. Some I know with Gaston College, you have to go to the business office and they give you a voucher, which you take to the bookstore. With South Piedmont Community College, I think your books are included in the tuition. But if you have to go to the bookstore, the school bookstore, or you're ordering on the bookstore's website, if you're ordering online, when you create your application and enter each course, you will also enter information about the book. So I need a book for my English Lit class, say I need 2. And it's going to cost me $175. And I'm going to save the expense, whether it's an expense for books or activity or lab fee.
I hate to interrupt. I'm going to the Cabarrus College of Health Sciences and I've ordered my books and they gave me a voucher code. I guess that was just like leftover credit I had after some other scholarships. Do I need to include my books onto this website too? Like if I had a previous voucher code that I used?
Yes, because do you have financial aid or anything from Cabarrus?
Yes, ma'am. And some other scholarships too.
So I'll have to follow up and see who's covering those. Let me go back to my screen. Who was talking? Sorry, I was on the other screen. I couldn't see who was talking.
Madison Forest.
Madison. Okay. I'm going to make a note. I'm not sure, Madison, but I'll find out for you.
Thank you.
Your other financial aid may be covering those books, but you may be using the RISE sponsorship for that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good question. Don't apologize for interrupting. That's what we want you to do.
I have a question too.
Okay.
So I'm enrolled to hire and they already paid my bill for my tuition, but how do I get y'all to like just pay for the books? Like,
It's a good question. So Bright Horizons Team Road to Hire is an organization that we work with, that we partner with. They're in high schools and they also offer scholarships and sponsorships. And we select quite a few of their students every year. So Road to Hire is covering their tuition, but not books. Is that for everyone? Who was talking that time?
that was Tesla. That was me.
Hey, Tesla. Tesla, is that for everyone, do you know, or just for you? It's just, I guess I could call Road to Hire and find out about that.
It just depends who
Okay.
turned in their bill, or I don't know how it works for everyone else, but I just
Okay.
submitted it and they already paid for it.
Okay. So how would she submit an application just for books?
This is Amy. I can take this one. What she would need to do is still put in the course name, and then you would put in $0 for the tuition amount, and then add the expense for the book. And then that will generate the letter of credit. And then once we receive the invoice, we will see where that financial aid has been applied to tuition. And there's also a part on the application where they are asked to disclose any additional scholarships or grants that they receive. That's where she would put that amount in there for whatever the scholarship amount is.
Okay. And then I was also wondering if it's like 2 books, but for the same class, is it 2 separate expenses or you just list it as one?
Just, you could list it as 2. That'd be fine. That's the
Okay.
best practice, is to list them
Tesla,
separately.
if you see my screen, Tesla, you can see that I selected 2 books and then the total amount. So that's what you could do. So you'll still create an
Okay, thank you.
application and enter the course, but again, the amount is 0.
So I also had enough financial aid and other scholarships to cover my books costs. Do I need to enter that in as well?
Yes. Actually, so your financial aid, this is Abby, right?
Yes.
Abby, your financial aid covered your tuition and your books, everything?
Not my tuition, just my books.
Just your books? Okay.
Yes.
So then you would just go and create, enter your courses for the courses and the tuition, but you don't have to do the course expense for books. You don't have to enter your books. Just the classes and the tuition.
So this is Raina, by the way. So
Raina.
hi. For my statistics class, I have to pay for my calculator out of pocket. Would I add it to this expenses or no?
Yes, we will cover that.
Okay.
So that would be a course related expense.
All right. Thank you.
Lori, that's unless Raina paid for that out of her own pocket, though.
Oh, yes. Did you pay for that out of pocket or did you buy it in the bookstore?
I haven't bought it yet.
If you can buy it in the bookstore, that would be better.
Okay.
It's easier. Yeah, if you guys have, one thing I do want to mention is that the sponsorship does not cover laptops. But if you have, if you need a graphing calculator or other supplies, you can, and if you could buy it at the school bookstore, that would be preferred. So we mentioned earlier, Azure, I can't show you. I don't think I'm able to show you on my screen because I don't have the same view as you will for Rise to Success, but there is a question that says, did you receive financial aid or scholarships? I don't know the exact wording. You will select, if you are getting financial aid or any other sort of scholarship, like we talked about before, select yes. And there's an amount box, right? Kayla, do you remember? Does it
That's
ask for
correct. Yeah.
what happens if they don't know yet?
Oh, that is a great question. Jenny or Amy, have you ran into that before?
So that step will be coming up in this type of application too, Lori. So we should be able to see that coming up, because even in this type of application, we ask the same question.
Okay.
And they should
Excellent.
disclose it if they know. If they don't know, that's also when we are invoiced by the school, that will show up on the invoice. So if they're not sure if they receive it at the time, they can put it on there if they think they are, but it will show up on the invoice and then we'll process according to the policy.
Okay. So I'm going to pretend like this is the only class I'm taking this semester. I've done my course, entered my tuition, I've done my books. If you have other course related expenses, activity fees, lab fees, calculators, this is where you enter them. Click add course. And I'm done. I'm going to say that I'm completely done for fall semester. And my total amount is $490. I don't have any other expenses. So I'm going to continue. So for you guys, you'll be hitting this button 2, 3, maybe 4 times to make sure you get each course and related expenses added. All right, here we go. So this is where it asks you, did you receive any grants, scholarships, or discounts? So if you got financial aid, some other academic scholarship, anything, any money that you're getting outside of the Rise to Success sponsorship, select yes. What is discount? Do you guys know what that means?
That would be in a situation like if they received a network discount, not for these participants,
Okay.
but other participants that receive like a network, like a percentage discount, that's where they would then select discount there.
And for financial aid would cover all of these. What is the other category?
Well, if they received maybe anything else that doesn't apply. So if it's not a GI Bill, and if it's not a Pell or a state grant, and if it's not a discount or a grant related to the Veterans Program, that would just be other than.
Okay, so I'll say I got a Pell Grant for $500. And then you'll read the team member agreement, the FERPA agreement, and then you'll type your name exactly as it appears. This is when you've finished creating your application. And again, one application will include all of your courses and expenses, including books for that semester. This is all of your information. So if you are reimbursed, if they pay out of pocket for something, do they receive a live check, or is that direct deposit, which is set up through Atrium when they're hired?
So if they pay out of pocket for something, they need to submit a totally different application for that reimbursement application. So that that doesn't come until after this first application is submitted.
Okay.
And then the status will change once it's submitted, and it will go to Atrium for review. So the status of the application will show forwarded to supervisor for review. After Atrium reviews it and approves it, then the status changes to LOC issued. And at that point, they are able to print off their line of credit and provide it to the school. Once LOC is issued, once the application is in LOC issued status, that's when they can go in and access a reimbursement application or an expense application for those out-of-pocket expenses.
Ah, okay. So I won't be able to show them that, right? Since my LOC has, okay. I'm going to submit this application, but then I'm going to have to go back and cancel it because I don't actually want this to go through.
And when you submit it, Lori, this is not a direct bill application. So the status that it's going to show, well, it is not accurate.
Okay.
Because
so maybe I won't.
There's no need to. There's no need to.
All right. So I'm going to delete this just because I don't want to cause confusion. Okay, so that is a step-by-step guide on how to create an application. I don't have access. I used to have access, Bright Horizons team, to the letters of credit, but I don't anymore because I was going to go into someone else's, another student's record and just show them where they can see the letter of credit. Are you guys able to show them that or to share your screen so that they'll see where to go to get that?
Let me try to pull that up right now.
Okay. And again, the letter of credit, which we will refer to as LOCs, that is what you will need to download and email to the business office. And I will send you all the contact person for each school. And there are deadlines. I'm trying to think of how we know the deadlines. I'm trying to think about how you guys know the deadline. I guess it really shouldn't matter because if you do what you're supposed to do and you create your application as soon as you register, that letter of credit is going to be available very soon after. And as soon as you get it, then you should submit it. But if you delay and the letter of credit deadline has passed, that's when your classes are dropped for non-payment. So again, this letter of credit tells CPCC Rain and Butler is being sponsored by Atrium Health. This is the total, and then CPCC bills us and we pay them. So that's the importance of the letter of credit.
Yes, so I am actually able to show a letter of credit and how to access it. So if you were to actually submit that application in that last step, you would then on your home screen see that application and its information in that little carousel. It'll replace the carousel with that information. So in this example, you can click into the application number here at the top right corner. It will show you the application itself, all of the information, and at the top, you'll want to hit Actions, Access Letter of Credit. Whoops. Okay, looks like I'm getting an error. I'm very sorry about that, but this is where it would pop up with your letter of credit, and you can download that, take that with you. That's how you would get to your letter of credit. So you go to your application, Actions, Access Letter of Credit.
Yes, so you could download it and email, or you could actually take it to the business office. I know at least with CPCC, Stephanie Miller is your contact. I'll send you her email address. All you have to do is email it to Stephanie. But you could also print it and take it to the office. And it usually takes, as far as turnaround time, once you submit an application, it's probably reviewed and approved within 1 to 2 days. But you will get an email letting you know that your letter of credit is available.
Will that come to our ATM email or our personal email?
I don't know.
That goes to, this is Amy, that goes to the email address that is on your profile within the HR system within Atrium. What comes over to us via the eligibility file.
So that's why it's important, we've talked about it so many times, to make sure you're checking work email and personal email at least twice a day.
And I can show where you can review that really quick. If you go onto your application itself and scroll down, you can look for your contact information and it'll tell you what email is associated with the application. So you can always check that out.
And you can edit that contact information if you need to. If you move, if your phone number changes, anything like that, you can edit that. I feel like, sorry. Tesla, were you talking?
Yeah, could you clarify when you said it's something different for when like you're reimbursing us for a purchase? Like, how do you do that part?
Is there a way we can walk them through how to create an application to be reimbursed for, like, scrubs? A lot of them will be buying scrubs for a class. They'll have to pay out of pocket. Um, is there a way we can show them how to do that?
Yeah, Jenny and Amy, if you can help me out with that, I'm happy to walk through the application itself.
Are you from the UAT, Kayla? Can you open a prepaid application and that's an LOC has been issued for and show them from there?
Let's see. Let me try to submit this one really quick.
So is there a specific date that the general application for EdAssist needs to be done?
Yes, each school has a deadline. So for fall semester, like I think with CPCC, the deadline is August 17th. Each school will have a different deadline. And that's what I'm not sure. I don't know how you will find out what that deadline is. But again, if you are creating and submitting your application, as soon as you register, you should be fine. I mean, this is assuming that you are registering well in advance of the first day of classes. I will find out how you find out about those deadlines, Abby, because there is a date that you absolutely have to have your letter of credit to the school. Not this semester. Again, we've already notified them all that you're sponsored and we're covering the tuition. For this semester, as soon as you can get into EdAssist, Abby, you should definitely be able to go ahead and create your application for fall semester and submit it. And I'll send you the contact. You're remind me what school you're at again, Abby?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay, I know who that is. That's Lynn Piercy, but I'll send you her contact info.
Thank you.
Give me one quick second and we can walk through that process we were just discussing.
So things that you would be reimbursed for are things that you have to pay out of pocket. Scrubs, shoes for the nurse aid course, anything, maybe a book or something that's not available at the bookstore and you get it through Amazon. For those of you who are pursuing nursing, when you take the nurse aid certification exam, if you haven't already, we will cover the cost of that exam, but you can't submit that in EdAssist yet. That's a completely different process. I'm trying to think of other out-of-pocket expenses you might have. Scrubs are the primary thing. That's why it's so much easier if you can order your supplies, books, etc. If you can buy them at the bookstore, the school bookstore.
Maybe a stethoscope.
That's true. Yep.
Okay, I think I have what we need to show that. So Jenny or Amy, if you can walk me through that process, I would click into the application, correct?
Correct.
And let's see if I can show you the letter of credit now, if it doesn't give me that error. Yeah, perfect. So you can see it just downloaded the letter of credit. This is kind of what it will look like. Just gives all of the information about the courses, the education provider, all of that good stuff on there, and just some information that you'll want to read through. Okay, so now we want to add another expense, correct? So we can go actions, add other expense. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So remember, you're going into the application for the course that you have the expense for.
Yes. So it'll first ask, how would you like to receive reimbursement payments? You can select check or electronic deposit. If you select electronic deposit, it will have you enter in your Zelle information. So you would have to have that set up. So let's select check for the purposes of this application, and we'll hit save. And this is where you can then add an expense. So let's add an expense. It's going to ask, is it for this course that we had previously entered on the application? So in this case, yes, it is. It's only showing books. Let's enter in books first. We'll save that expense. And then let's add another expense. Oh, because in this case, this application, books are the only expense allowed. So I'm sorry, it's only showing that. This is where you would select other if you had something like a stethoscope or those fees that we had talked about, those course fees. It would give you the option to select a different option other than books. But in this case, this type of application, only books are allowed. So just know that it would look a little bit different. You'd have that drop-down box. So let's just add another expense just to show what that looks like again. The quantity, the amount, save that expense. And you can always go back and edit that or remove the expense. It's going to ask again, did you receive any grants, scholarships, or discounts? So you'll say yes or no. So let's say yes. Let's say we'll do Pell Grant again, just for the example, $500. Again, with the team member agreement, you'll just want to read through that and click agree. The FERPA agreement, same thing. And then finally, you'll enter your name as it appears. And submit that application now with your expenses added at the very top here. And your application has been approved. So you can return to the home page. We'll go to that application. And here it has created a separate application for those books that I had added.
And then upload documents. Is that where you upload receipts?
Yes, so you could upload receipts. Maybe you have scholarship documents to provide, whatever it may be, you can drag and drop the file or upload it right from your computer. It'll tell you what type of documents are approved, so PDFs, JPEGs, things like that. And if you have any trouble uploading the documents, again, that's what we're here for. Definitely reach out if you have any issues there.
Yeah, make sure you save all of your receipts because, of course, you're going to need to attach those, upload those to be reimbursed. Any questions up to this point? We're almost finished. I know we've gone a little bit over, but we got started a little bit late.
This is Madison again. I just got one more.
Sure.
I have orientation tomorrow, so I have my HM ID. I have the information I need. Should I do my application now, or should I wait till after tomorrow?
You can do it now.
I missed the first few minutes of the meeting, and I don't even know how to get to like the application page y'all have. Like, how do I get there?
Oh, I don't think that we went into, I don't think we told everyone. So there's an app. They can download an app, correct?
Okay.
Bright Horizons, is that right?
Yes, and the login information and all the instructions is in the orientation guidebook you all were provided when you came to see Lori and I at the airport center.
Okay.
So the information to download the app on their phone, Capri?
Yes, and how to establish username and password.
Okay.
And it says to get in from People Connect.
Mhm.
How do I, like, when I try to log on to that on my computer, it doesn't really give me the option to log in. It just tells me like what it provides. That makes sense.
So once you start, Madison and everyone else, there should be someone who can help you get logged in and access everything you need.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen so that you can see. We did talk about this a little bit at orientation. So this is what People Connect looks like. This is the landing page of People Connect. And if you just type in EdAssist, whoops. EdAssist, Bright Horizon. I mean, any of these will get you there.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt, but are you on your personal computer or like something from Atrium?
Atrium, my Atrium laptop.
Yeah. So when we're at work, me and Anna, we can log on to this stuff, but if we try to do it like personally, like at home, then none of this works. It doesn't show the
Have you downloaded Citrix or so this is something that you would need to call the help desk about and let them know you're having trouble accessing stuff from home.
Because we got Microsoft Teams and stuff, it won't let us log on with our email to the Atrium stuff.
Okay.
So you all need to access remotely, but there's a the IAS contact information on the last page of your guidebook. There's a contact page. You need to contact the help desk is what Lori's trying to say. So yes, when you have an Atrium laptop, we're on the VPN, so it's easier for us to just access Atrium things. But when you want to access People Connect remotely, you have to call the help desk.
Okay, thank you.
So this is
Atrium
what you
Health,
would be seeing. Go ahead, Lori.
yeah, this is Atrium Health Connect. So if you just search Atrium Health Connect for teammates, this is what it looks like. Capri, does everyone have this access or is it just go remote?
I think that's why they need to call the help desk because ever since we're corporate, so our access remained the same, but ever since they changed it, the help desk will walk them through step by step on how to access it remotely. But they need to call, and once they provide their username, it'll determine which one they use.
And you may have to download Citrix. You might have to do a couple of different things that Capri and I can't help you with. But Atrium Health Connect, you can also check your email through webmail, get onto Microsoft Teams, but please do call the help desk and they can help you. But if you're in People Connect, this is the EdAssist page, and you click right here, log on to EdAssist, make sure you're in Charlotte.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I just have one more question about the general application.
Sure.
When it asks for like the student ID number, is that for our college student ID number or for Atrium, like our employee number?
Does it say student or employee?
Like on the application, it says student, but I don't know which one to enter.
Bright Horizons, do you guys know?
Yep. That's her, actually, if it says student ID, that's the student ID. So the ID that was provided to you by the school.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Lori, I have a question. So
Sure.
I just got an email earlier today saying that my classes were dropped because
You're at CP, Trinidad?
payment. Yeah.
Okay, that happened to one. It's CP's fault. I'll reach out to them right after this call.
Okay, thank you.
It happened to someone else. They were able to get her back in her classes. So I'm sorry. Bright Horizons, can you just remind me about the deadlines? So once they've registered for classes, how long do they have to create an application, and how long do they have to submit final grades? Can you go over those deadlines? They're probably in the FAQs, but
Yeah, let me look. I'm trying to pull that up.
Once the course ends, they have 60 days after that end date. But
to enter their grades.
Correct. And the catch is that, you know, like I said earlier, the sooner the better, because the application is still open until they submit the grades. And if the application is still open, they can't create a new application for the next term. So we run into that a lot where teammates forget that they have not uploaded the grades, but then they're wondering why they're not able to submit. It doesn't show eligible when they're trying to create a new RISE application, and that's why.
And that happens so often. I'm hoping that with this cohort moving forward, it won't, but I can't tell you how many times participants will call me saying, I can't create an application, and I'll do a bunch of research, and then I'll say, did you enter your grades? Oh, I completely forgot. That's why don't rely just on memory. Just make it a habit. Just, again, consider it another part of, as soon as you get your grades, go in and enter them. As soon as you register, create that application. You do have 60 days to enter those grades, but if you don't enter them right away, you're going to forget. And it probably takes 5 minutes, if that long. And then what about the deadline for creating an application after courses start?
So the system is set up to allow teammates to submit up to 30 days after the start date. However, we don't recommend that they wait that long. Like Lori said a few times, we recommend that you submit it as soon as you know your courses and the expenses of each of them.
Okay.
So this is Anna.
Yeah.
When you say we go to EdAssist, and I see where we create the applications and everything, but where do we submit like the grades for the courses?
You go back into the application. So you can go into history, or Kayla was showing you the little carousel. You just need to go back into the application you created, which will be in your history. And it will bring up every class, and that's where you enter your grades.
Okay. This is Madison again, and I'm going to log into EdAssist. I have my HR username, obviously, and then it says to click an email or an account. Do I need to have an HRM email, and will I get that at orientation?
Yeah, I'm assuming you get that at orientation. I don't know how the exact process after you're hired. They should have that for you at orientation.
Because I tried to use my like personal email to log in, because that's what I was going to put onto EdAssist anyways, and it says that it's not like registered with the Carolina healthcare system or whatever.
Yeah, it'll have to be your HRM email address.
And that I will get that at orientation, or you're not for sure?
I'm not sure, but I might be able to find you right now, Madison. Hang on. Yes. You are madison.forrest@htrimhealth.org, which is what most of you will be. First name dot last name @htrimhealth.org. While you're doing that, sure. One thing I wanted to mention also is you can write comments on your application, and you can also see update comments. So make sure that when you're looking at your application that you can go in, that you scroll down and look at all the comments that the Bright Horizons team has made. They may tell you what's lacking, what you need to submit. You can ask a question and they'll respond. That's another good way to communicate. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? Bright Horizons team, thank you so much. I think we did as much as possible a really thorough job of showing everyone how to create an application and expenses. I know you guys will have questions later. Remember the two ways to get in touch with Bright Horizons, either by the chat or to create a ticket. We really recommend that you go directly to the source as opposed to emailing Capri or me, because we're sort of just the middlemen. I mean, we have access to your applications. We can go in and review everything. But a lot of times we just have to reach out to Bright Horizons, which just is, just another layer. But I will be sending out this meeting, the recorded meeting, with some reminders about those deadlines. And then if you have questions, you can always contact me. I certainly don't want you guys to think you can't contact us. But it's always easier to go directly to the source. Bright Horizons, did I forget anything or leave anything out that you think is important?
I don't think so. That was pretty thorough. And again, I just encourage you to look through the benefits tab for those FAQs and policies and tutorials. That's a really great resource as a step one to any questions you may have.
Jenny, I'm going to send that out as well. So I'm going to send out some follow-up documents. So they'll have them at hand. Okay, everyone, thank you. For those of you who are on the call, well, if you're not on the call, you wouldn't be hearing this. So thank all of you for joining. I really appreciate it. Again, let us know if you have questions. Once you're able to get in and start, entering stuff, this will all make much more sense and be easier for you for the next go round. All right, have a great day of class. If this is your first day, have a great week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much, Kayla, Jenny, Amy.
Thank you, Lori. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.